Everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today is Thursday, which means it's story time. And of course, this is going to be episode 3 in the story, so definitely want to check out episodes 1 and 2, possibly the prologue, episode 0 as well. I'll have a link to possibly all 3, definitely episode 1 in the prologue in the description. Might have a link to episode 2, probably a link to episode 2 as well. So anyways, where we last left, our group of, at this point, it's Claudius von Haugis, the main guy, my character, Dorothy von Liechtenstein, I think Gandalf's probably left, so same with the Elven Paladin. I think they probably just sort of disappeared, bye-bye, forever, like the players just sort of stopped coming. But, Dorothy von Liechtenstein, Claudius von Haugis, Savlas Lydon, and of course Drake Jasseril. These 4 guys, our new party of 4, are out on their quest to get to that Dwarven city from the human city. They just reached the halfway point, and they're continuing on. Oh, and they also ran into that pit. But anyways, so yeah, the Dwarven city. The journey to the Dwarven city, part 2, is where we're at. Alright, so after leaving the inn, we continued on our way towards the Dwarven city. Pretty self-explanatory. Somewhere along the way, a half-orc barbarian joined our group briefly. Had a player come in, and he was playing a half-orc barbarian. He didn't stick around, though. I think that was my buddy Randall who played that guy. But yeah, he only stuck around for like a session or 2. As we approached the city, we were warned about some large enemies gathering outside the town waiting for us. So basically, forces have gathered to try and prevent us from getting to this town. So this big army gathered right outside town, just there to stop us. We left the beaten path repeatedly to try to prepare ourselves for the encounter, which I didn't mention this in any of the previous stuff, but there were multiple beaten paths. There was one with kobolds, there's one with half-orcs, there's one with lizard folk, and between them you got like stronger encounters, which basically they were stocking up. We decided we were gonna get stronger with all those stronger encounters, and it wasn't just stronger encounters, there was loot and all sorts of nice stuff. So yeah, let's see, I managed to convert I managed to convert a few of them to our side using my diplomatic charm. So basically, me, Claudius von Haugis, we had I had a pretty high diplomacy score. I was decent level by this point because of that power leveling that I talked about before. My character is one of them that benefited from that, and I used that to get a few monsters that I was able to communicate with to switch sides and join us. So yeah, let's see. We fought hard in the battle. However, I'm not sure how it ended. Basically, the battle was crazy. It was just this insane battle. I think there were like 100 enemies. Mostly kobolds, there were a lot of not half-orcs, there were a lot of orcs, there were a lot of, I don't know why I said half-orcs before, they were full orcs. So full orcs, we had lizard folk, and plus a few stronger guys like giants and Lamias and all sorts of crazy stuff. It was just this insane battle, and at one point, in the middle of the fight, the hill giant, because there's a hill giant. I think there were multiple giants, but one of them was a hill giant. Threw an orc at me and killed me. So there was this giant. He was just throwing orcs. He came up with a strategy of pick an orc up, throw it at us, and then the orc just went all kamikaze because orcs have high damage, low health. So the orc was going to die, but it was prepared to do as much damage just as it could before it actually died. And one of those kamikaze orcs that hit us. Well, hit me, my character, Claude. The other guys didn't get hit too much, but Claude did, and he ended up dying in that fight. The other guys, I think they all made it through. I think I was the only one that died. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. The fight was nuts. It took quite a few sessions to get through that battle. It was a really fun battle. Everyone seemed to have a good time, and yeah. Then yeah. So let's see. Then basically what happened. Oh, let's get to the surface. Next thing I know, I'm at the temple in the Dwarven city, naked, with Dorthin holding my gear. I quickly clothed and regained my gear. Thanks for reviving me, Dorthin. You're a real pal. So basically, he got revived. Dorthin actually led the charge to actually revive my character because I was the DM, but I couldn't make the players do that. So Dorothy, one of my players, he decided he was going to make sure my character got revived because my character was the healer. So figured it would be a good idea to bring him back. And so we did. And he had used a cut of the huge amount of loot that all those monsters dropped. A cut of that to pay for a true resurrection spell, which was above and beyond what he needed to do. So that was really awesome of him. So that's really the story in a nutshell. We made it. We made it. We're at the Dwarven city. So what happens at the Dwarven city? Ooh, that's the big question. What happens now that we're there? Well, if you want to find out, you can get a little bit farther ahead by checking my Tumblr feed, or if you'd rather. But my Tumblr feed, the stories they're just stories. They don't go into a whole lot of detail about what happened. I go into way more about it in these videos. So, you can always wait for the next video as well. Or you can do both and pick up the little bits as you watch, however you really feel like doing it. So definitely want to subscribe if you want to figure out what happens next, now that we're finally made it to the Dwarven city. If you subscribe, you also get access to all my other videos, like my Friday Dungeons and Dragons descriptions videos, which teach you all about how to make a Dungeons and Dragons character and how to play them as well. As well as my Naruto character reviews on Saturdays and my additional videos on Sunday. Plus, I probably have others at this point. Just recorded a little early. Let's see. And if you enjoyed this video, so definitely subscribe if you want access to all of that. If you enjoyed this video, consider sharing it with your friends. And, come back next week for access to find out what happens next now that they finally made it. Anyways, as always, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you.